I'm going to do a few roll up and downs. So starting with your knees hip distance apart. So you're going to work into this slowly. And remembering that the wheel is wobbly. So, it's fairly slim this way. So you have to make sure that you take all of your movements in a really symmetrical way. So starting with rolling down. So roll your arms down, hands down, roll that wheel in front of you. And then when you get to a certain point where you can drop the head between the arms and then bring the head down toward the mat. Take a nice deep breath in, roll up. Then exhale, rolling the wheel forwards, head drops down. Taking the weight more into the knees, into the hips. You can take your feet off if you want. Take a breath in, come up. That's 2. We're going to do it 10 times. So moving slowly and mindfully, starting to work into the shoulders. Pressing equal weight into the hands, evenly onto the wheel. So keeping everything symmetrical, as I said. Because otherwise what will happen is the wheel will tilt to the side. And a little bit of a fall over will happen. So that was, I think, 4. If you hear a little rumbling, grumbling noise, that's my stomach. I haven't eaten yet. I can hear it growling a bit like that leopard in the background there. Having a gurgly day. Let's do another 3. And on the last one, hold it down. Hold it down for a count of 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, rolling up. Then taking your hands down to the floor, take your feet up onto the wheel. We'll take a little puppy pose with the feet on the wheel. So walking the hands forwards, hips up. Forwards, forwards, forwards with the hands, elbows down, forehead down, forearms down. You can look between the hands, scoop the belly up. Deep breaths. Stretching into the shoulders, working deep into the shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, lifting up. That felt so, so good. Okay, belly on the wheel next. So taking your tummy onto the wheel for an up dog. Tuck the toes. Squeeze the thighs and lift the hips up a little bit. Thighs off the floor. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, look up. So this is like Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. So the wheel is into the lower ribs, all the way down to the belly. So there's still some weight in your hands, some weight slightly into the feet, not full weight into the stomach. Walk the hands a little bit further back if you want. And we'll roll a little bit higher up on the wheel. I'll lift the chest a little higher. And then tuck the toes. Tuck the toes. And take a little downward facing dog. Squeeze navel to spine. Tuck the toes. You can rest your head between, take the wheel slightly forward so it's not in your way. And drop the head between the arms. Nod the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Draw some circles with the nose, just releasing any tension in the neck. A little bend in the shoulders. And then coming into a plank. Doing a little bit of shoulder protraction. So strong plank. Squeeze into the thighs, lift the belly, scoop it up. Now release the shoulders down. So release that protraction of the shoulders, then push into the shoulders, then release down. Do another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a little sit down on your wheel. Taking a little bit of cars into the wrists. So taking your wheel between or under the bottom so you can take a little rest. It's really quite a good position actually. There's no strain on the knees here. Legs are actually quite relaxed in this position. So rolling out the wrists, big circles. Other side. We are going to be doing quite a little bit of work which will involve the wrist. Now take the hands side to side, tick-tock the fingers side to side. Pull the fingertips back towards the forearms. Other side. And then the other way. So pushing the palm of the hand towards the inner forearm. So flexing the wrist flexors and extensors. Get a little stretch out here and shake the wrists out. So let's have a little drape over the wheel. So again, being very mindful of how this wheel balances, knowing that you have to get it perfectly centered on your back, because if you're on the sides at all, you're going to just flop over one way or the other. So starting to take the wheel into your lower back, lifting the hips up, push into the legs, and find that natural curve into the lower back. Relax into the shoulders, and then reach the arms back. Legs relaxed, arms relaxed. Deep breaths. Point the toes if it feels better, or flex the feet, it's up to you, or do a little bit of both. Point and flex. You can clasp opposite elbows. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's quite good to hold onto the wheel underneath your bottom there and start to slowly roll up, digging the heels into the floor. To come back up with the body. I'm going to do that a few times. So roll like up and down. And down, back again. And start to bend the legs, bringing the feet, the soles of the feet down, hip distance apart. Let's start to take some bridge rolls. So starting to lift the hips up, inhale, reach back. Bring the arms parallel to the floor. Exhale, lowering the arms, lowering the hips. Chin to chest. Inhale, lift the hips up. Arms are lifting, but like a Pilates, roll up and down in bridge. Exhale, so moving symmetrically, very carefully, keeping the legs parallel, arms parallel, balancing out left side, right side. Let's do another 8 of those in your own time. Breathing in deeply, hips up, arms back, then exhale to roll back down. Lift the pelvic floor, Squeeze in, navel to spine. Enjoy that rolling up and down on the spine, giving your spine a lovely massage. So you have big muscles that run parallel with the spine. I think it's called the erector spinae. I need Junko to confirm that for me. But she's a doctor. I'm not. But just referring back to my anatomy, scratching the back of my head there somewhere, rattling around. 2 years ago, I did my anatomy course, I think it was. I think I got about 99%. So I think the only thing I got was the pelvic tilt. I called it an anterior instead of a posterior tilt in one particular posture that we were doing. So feeling that lovely press into those muscles up and down the spine. I'm going to make this my last one. I've been talking, so I've lost count. Scoop the belly in. Legs on the wheel. So stretching the backs of the legs now. Taking the feet up onto the wheel. Feeling that balance point. And also making sure you're actually on your sit bones. So moving any flesh aside from underneath. Checking you're fully seated on your sit bones. You can feel them grounding into the earth. Take a reach up, arms overhead, exhale. Flex the feet, squeeze the thighs, reach towards your feet, then reach towards the front end of your wheel, or as far forward as you can. It might even be the top, but if you can reach forwards for the front of the wheel, lift on a breath in, lift the chest, then gaze towards the toes, exhale, pulling the belly towards the thighs. So the idea is that we round the spine, not trying to get the head down, trying to get the torso to the thighs, belly to thighs, chest to knees. And if you're super bendy, it would be head to shins. So reaching forwards, maybe with every breath in and out, you can reach a little bit further over the wheel, folding a little bit further down over your legs. Let's hold it here for another 5 breaths. Remembering using that exhale to release. But keep squeezing, engaging into the thighs, keeping the legs as straight as you can. 2 more breaths. Then on a big breath in, slowly release your hold of the wheel and take your legs off. Coming into another drape over the wheel. So we've folded forwards, now we're going to fold backwards, stretching the front of the body. So that was stretching the posterior. Now we're going to do the anterior part of the body, taking the wheel behind you, between your feet. Take your knees hip distance apart, knees bent. So bringing your bottoms down onto the wheel first, then taking the wheel a little bit higher up the spine. So you're now leaning and draping yourself over the wheel. This is a bit more of a stretch than when the legs are extended. So when the legs are bent under, it feels a little bit more intense. So work into it slowly. It's a little bit like when we do Supta Virasana, hero's pose. So you can reach your hands towards your knees. Try to let go of the tension in the neck and into the head. Pull the shoulders back towards each other, shoulder blades towards each other. Open up into the chest. Move into this really slowly. If it feels okay, you can start to reach the arms back to touch down on the floor. Five breaths. You can clasp opposite elbows. Three more. It's hard to talk upside down. Two more. Slowly reach towards your calves or your thighs or your heels. You can push into the heels with your hands to slowly bring the body up, nice and slowly. Don't strain the head, neck, chest, thighs, anything. So moving super, super slowly. So we don't want to take any strain into the neck, into the front of the neck, or into the big supporting muscles of the neck. Okay, so into those little sets. So have a little sip of water. We're going to work into the exercises we did last week. We've got the lunge, we've got the plank, we've got the seated leg lifts, the plank holds, the roll in and outs in plank, which is like the pikes, the sit-ups, holding lunges. Take a sip of water. We're going to do 3 sets. Have your blocks to hand. We're going to need those for when we do what we're going to need the blocks for. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know if we need the blocks actually. You might do for the kind of V-sit, L-sit option. So some people use blocks under their hands for that. Depends how long your arms are and how flexible you feel. So starting with plank hold for 30 seconds. So we're taking our hands onto the wheel. Wrists are facing towards each other, thumbs facing forwards, fingertips fold, hands fold underneath the wheel. So you need to get a really strong balance grip of your wheel. If you're over to the side, it's going to wobble too much. So you really need to check you have a symmetrical grip onto your wheel. Safety first. Okay, so we're going to push into the wheel. Start to lift the hips up, straightening out the legs, squeeze into the thighs, squeeze into the legs. Send your gaze forwards, nice long neck. Lift the belly. Protract into the shoulder blades, so dome that space between the shoulder blades. Can you feel a little shake going on? I have one. That's about halfway. I'd say another count for 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees down. Give the wrists a little roll out. Okay, same thing. We're going to try to lift the legs one at a time. So we're going to do 5 to 10 lifts per side. So you go for as many as you can, up to 10. Find that balance point in your plank hold first. So really squeeze into the belly. Maybe set your supporting foot slightly to the middle. Lift and lift. Squeeze into the thigh, into the glute of the lifting leg. Squeeze into the thigh of the supporting leg. It's really tricky, so be patient. So 5 to 10 of those. Drop to the knees when you've done your set. Come to sit on your wheel. So firmly placed right on top of the wheel, underneath you. One leg bent, one leg extends. Squeeze into the belly, hands onto the hips. Point the one foot, extended leg. Push into the standing, that's your standing leg, your supporting leg, big toe into the floor. 1, 2, 5 to 10. Squeeze into the belly. So you do as many as you can. Don't forget we've got 3 sets of these, so don't go for burnout to start. You'll find as each set comes along, you'll find it a little bit easier, I think, as the muscles switch on and engage. Supporting leg, push that into the floor. Steady yourself with your torso, engage into the waist, into the abs, into the pelvic floor, into the hip flexors. Try to keep this body as static as possible whilst lifting the leg. Okay, so that was our seated leg lifts. Plank holds done. Now plank pikes. So that's a roll up and down with your feet on the roller onto your wheel. If this one is proving to be too difficult, then use your sliders or have some socks on and slide your feet like we've done pike sliders before. This one, it's crucial that you have your weight evenly balanced on the wheel. Don't lift the hips too high. If you find it too difficult, you need to start with the feet draped over the wheel. Find your plank first. So I'm expecting at least one tip of mine because I haven't done this since last week. So lifting the hips up, roll onto the toes, and then send the feet further back onto the ankles. Rolling up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Do 5. Up and down. Lift the hips. Up and down. 1 more. Squeeze the thighs, keep the legs together. Even. Roll onto the wheel. Bring the knees down. Whew. Those are super, super tough. So, sit-ups on the wheel. So lifting the hips up. So you've got the wheel between your shoulder blades. And we're going to take a crunch. 10. And exhale, crunch. Squeeze. And lower the hips. Lunges next. If I recall from last week, these are super tricky. So this position, I checked it out after we did the class last week. The wheel sits kind of on the shin, not so much on the foot. So start with yourself in a lunge position. So 1 knee down, foot bent, foot onto the foot. Then step the 1 foot forwards, and then you've got 1 foot on the wheel. So what we're trying to do is extend the back leg straight and lift that leg up. So first come into like a runner's lunge. So lifting the thigh, might need to roll, find that right position so that your foot is kind of hooked over, so you're in the lower shin. Find your balance. Arms go wide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a real, I think, isometric hold. So really having to resist movement. So other side. So it's kind of like you're hooking your foot round and over the wheel. So your wheel, you are pushing into your lower shin a little bit. Step the other foot forwards. Get into that lunge position, so bringing the weight into the front leg. So get some balance in that front leg. Start to extend and straighten the back leg. Squeeze both thighs, squeeze into the glutes, lift the chest up, reach the arms wide to the side, balancing out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Drop the knee, come off the wheel. Now we're taking those reverse tabletop L sits. Now, instead of rolling our feet towards our hands, upside down the other way, we're doing it from tabletop, going into a tabletop L sit lift. So if you need to build up a little bit height underneath the hands, then do so. Set yourself up into like Purvottanasana. So hips lift up, drive up. So now you're on your calves, lower calves, and then exhale, roll back with the hips without touching the floor. Come onto the heels of the feet, push into the floor with the hands, keep the bottom off the floor. Big breath in, exhale back. Let's do 10, that's 2. Moving up and down, rolling up and down, completely evenly on your wheel. Squeeze navel to spine, hold, hold, hold. Lower the bottom down, give the wrist a little shake out. Have a sip of water. Really gets the heart going. Okay, that was step 1. Let's start with plank holds. So if you need to roll out the wrists, roll out the wrists. Hands together, top of the wheel. So at 12 o'clock, if you like, on the wheel. Fingertips fold under, thumbs pointing forwards down the front of the wheel. Protract into the shoulder blades, scoop the belly up, engage into the abs. Step the feet back, one at a time. Squeeze into the thighs, don't have the bottom sticking up or banana back. Looking for a straight body with a full push into the hands. Protract between the shoulder blades, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze the thighs. Another 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees down nice and slowly with control. Give the wrists a little roll out. Leg lifts in plank. Take a couple of breaths. Feel the body getting quite hot now. So set up your plank once more. Find that stability in the supporting leg, the non-lifting leg, and take at least 5 on one side, up to 10. See if you can maybe do a couple more than you did last time. I only did 5, so I'm going to go for more than 5, hopefully. Remember, equal weight distribution onto the wheel. Squeeze into the supporting leg. Really focus. Over to the other side. Don't forget to breathe. Squeeze into the supporting leg, into the glutes. Lift the belly. Don't switch off there. And when you've done up to 10, lower the knees down, roll out the wrists. Come to sit on top of your wheel, into the leg lifts. One leg bent, one leg extended. Hands on the hips, chest lifts, spine straight. Squeeze into the supporting leg thigh, push into the standing leg foot, that supporting foot, big toe. Keep the foot toe pointed if you can, or flex, actually up to you, whichever feels most effective. Minimum of 5. Focus on keeping the body really, really still. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze into the belly. Squeeze into those hip flexors. Do up to 10. Do more than you did last time if you didn't do 10. So if you did 5, do 6 or 7. See if you can beat yourself a little challenge. Really focus on that balance. Note to self. Don't get too distracted by other things, other thoughts, etc., because it's likely you'll tip over to the side. So be super careful. Maybe squeeze, squeeze, squeeze into the lifting leg thigh. I've lost count, so I'm going to do 3 more. These are really challenging, really, really having to focus super hard on all those little stabilizing muscles. So those were the leg lifts. Now into our plank pikes. So that's where our feet go on top. We're on our hands, lifting the hips up, coming into a V shape as we lift the hips up to a V shape pike lift. So first, setting yourself up into plank, feet on the wheel, lifting up and down. Again, if you want to do more than 5, do more than 5. Keep the form. Good. And rest. Ooh. So I wonder if, and I haven't tried this yet, we can roll the knees in and out rather than a pike lift. Have a little go on that. So rolling your feet back. Don't know if it's possible. Yes, to roll the knees in and out. So bringing the knees in for 10. Haven't tried this one before, just made that up. So do up to 10 of those. Definitely need to give the wrist a little roll out, a little squeeze. Whew. So we're done. That's what we'll call that a roll in and out in plank. Into sit-ups. So come to sit on your wheel. And then roll down so the wheel is between the shoulder blades. Nice even roll down. Getting that wheel right in the middle of the spine. Squeeze into the glutes and thighs. Contract into the abs. We're going to crunch it in. 10, 9, 8. Oh, this is like a massage between the shoulder blades. 7, 6, 5. Elbows lift. 3, 2, And 1, drop the hips down. Lunge holds. So draping the foot, back leg foot over the wheel. So you're on that shin. Stepping the other foot forwards. So you're in your lunge position to start. So finding first the lift of the back knee, then pushing into the front foot. Lift the chest up, arms to the side. 10, 9, 8. Squeeze the glutes towards each other, thighs towards each other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knee down mindfully, hands down. Switching sides. So I think that's one of the hardest of all. Personally, I find that one really, really challenging. Ready? Extend the back leg. So you're draping the foot over the wheel, sort of like tucking your toes into the wheel. Top of the ankle in, reach out to the side. Squeeze the thighs together. Activate into the glutes, into the abs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands down. Maybe on the next one, we'll have a go at reaching the arms up. Okay. Reverse tabletop L-sits. Are you finding this a little easier this week or just as hard? Let me know how you're getting on. Not now, just at the end. So Purvottanasana first, lifting the hips up, fingertips pointing the same direction as your feet. So inhale, roll hips up, kind of on the lower calves, look up. Exhale, hips go back, go onto the tops of the feet, keep the bottom lifted, push into the hands. Inhale forwards, open the chest, lift the hips. Exhale, take the hips back, L-sit. That's 2. 3, do up to 10. 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Keep the bottom off the floor. 9, and 10. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Take a little sip of water. Roll out the shoulders. Take a little twist, whatever you need to do. Little cat-cow. We have another set of that to do. And then we'll have a little fun play upside down. Trying, some of those inversions. Right. Are we ready? Last round, let's do it. Roll out the wrists and a shake. It's quite intense on the wrists, actually, this. So taking care of the wrists. Right, first, let's do that plank. Holding onto the wheel. Hands on top, fingertips wrap under, thumbs face forwards, protract the shoulder blades, reach the legs back. Getting into it is in itself a little challenge. Nice straight body, protract between the shoulder blades. I'll hold it here for a bit longer this time. Arms straight. Push and dome that space between the shoulder blades. Squeeze the glutes a little bit. Make sure your hips aren't dropping or lifting. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Scoop the belly up. Another 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1. Drop the knees. Pressure off the wrists. Give them a shake out. Leg lifts. Beat your last set. Give yourself that little challenge, even if it's just one extra. Let's go. Pick a side, any side. I focus really strong on a point on the mat, like we do with our yoga practice. If you need to drop down, shake the wrists out, roll the shoulders to go to the other side, please do. Keep your form strong. Remember, do a little bit more than you did in the last round. Beat your own little number, beat your number onto the wheel to sit for your leg lifts. Again, see if you can do a few more than you did last time. Whew. Surprisingly challenging this. If you breathe, I'm going to check my heart rate while we're here. So you do 10 of each, up to 10. I'm curious to see where my heart rate's at. Chest keeps lifted. Nice upright body. Lifting the leg, moving the leg only. Lifting leg. 150 beats per minute. So this is a good workout. It's probably going to go a little bit higher when I do something like the L-sits and the pike lifts, because they're even more challenging, using really big muscle groups. If you have an Apple Watch, let me know what your heart rate goes up to. Right, so that was our our seated leg lifts up and down. Now we're going to do those lovely pikes. Set it up. Minimum of 5 if you got it. Checking that you've got that wheel perfectly lined up. If it's wonky, you'll go wonky and most likely tip to the side. So checking you're fully straight. Feet evenly placed on top. Symmetrical body as much as possible, apart from all the internal organs and some minor details. Okay, let's go. Keep an eye on your feet. Keep them rolling evenly. Might go wonky, might be one stronger leg or one stronger arm. And drop down to the knees. Shake out the wrists. Just measuring the heart rate. Take a couple of breaths, a little recovery. Let's roll the knees in and out now. So back to that position. 155 beats now. I knew that would be the case. So come into your plank with your feet on top, and then we're rolling the knees in and out. Right, 160 beats. Interesting. Sit-ups. Let's keep the heart rate elevated. In the good fat burning zone for me. Okay, we've got the wheel between our shoulder blades, lift the hips up. You're in a kind of a tabletop position here. Let's go for 20. If you want to, you can reach your hands towards, slide the hands towards the knees. Squeeze the glutes, hamstrings, thighs. Crunch it in. Slowly roll down. Let's see where you're at. Couple of deep breaths. Ready for those hold lunges. I'm going to attempt to reach the arms by the head. So at the moment we're doing it like this, which obviously helps with your stability. Let's see if we can reach for parts of it towards the end of the count of 10 up towards the sky. Go for all 10 if you can. Give yourself a little challenge. 1 week to the next. We're going to do this next week again. So I think this is a really good thing to practice. So setting yourself up into that runner's lunge. Squeeze into that back leg thigh. Get that position on the wheel. Nice and stable, as much as possible anyway. Reaching up to the sky. Arms alongside the ears. 10, 9, squeeze the thighs to each other. 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach forwards. Hopefully you had a little go reaching up. Your challenge, your practice, of course. Ready? Other side. Reaching up. Feel as though somebody's pulling you from the fingertips up to the sky. 8, 7, squeeze the glutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, look forwards. 2, and 1. Reaching down slowly, slowly. With control, drop the back knee down. Reverse tabletop, L-sits. Last time. Let's see if we can go for 15. Finish strong. Setting yourself up in that Purvottanasana position first. So you're on the calves. So you've got a bit of space to roll back onto the heels. 1, 2, 3. Keep an eye on those feet and the legs rolling up and down evenly. Lift hips up. Keep the bottom lifted off the floor. Hold it on the last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to L-sit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down. Well done, everybody. Whew. Well done. Take some water. A few deep breaths. Let me just check in. See where we got up to. I think that was the max. 158. It's probably about 160 at the peak there. Okie dokie. Let's have a little play. So your choice now to take a little stretch out if you want, or join us in headstand practice, little handstand practice. just for fun. That's what the wheel is for, mixing up a little bit. So taking yourselves over to the wall, use the wall. You're going to need that for pushing the wheel against it. Stop it from rolling out when you're upside down. So wheel against the wall, starting with tripod. Okay. So tripod headstand. Crown of the head to the floor, back of the head pushing against the wheel's pushing against the wall. Hands shoulder distance apart, spread the fingers wide. You're going to really be pressing into the hands, having a less weight into the head. So checking your hands fully engage into the floor. We don't want to take the weight into the head, really. There's a little bit, obviously. Can't be helped. To just shift my bun off the top of my head. So find the very top of your head, not the back, not the front. Find the top. Then the back of the head is into the wheel. Squeeze the elbows in together. Tuck the toes. Start to walk the feet towards you. And as you roll, you feel your hips roll up. Squeeze your navel to spine. And almost like the back of the shoulders, the back of the neck might contact with your wheel. Hold it here. And take the knees even onto the elbows. From here, you can lift the hips up, lift the legs up, push into the hands, squeeze, 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 into the belly. Keep those elbows squeezing towards each other. And then slowly bringing one leg down or taking a half headstand. So that's where the legs at 90 degrees. Push into the hands, squeeze into the belly, flex the feet, and then drop down nice and slowly. Take a little balasana. Roll the head from side to side. Tuck the chin to the chest. Just stretching out the neck. So that's tripod headstand. Can do full headstand, holding onto the elbows, then creating a cup for the hands. Back of the head pushing into the hands. Same thing, elbows push into the floor. Knees up first, and then extend the legs. Hold it here for as long as you want. Coming down when you're ready, one leg at a time, slowly with control, squeezing into the abdominals. Stretch the arms forwards. So there's two types of headstands, now into handstand. Hands shoulder distance apart and forward of the wheel. Crown of the head, but slight, not into the wheel, but between the forehead and the crown of the head. So like halfway between forehead and crown of the head. Pushes into the wheel, push into the hands. Walk the feet in, slowly, slowly, slowly. And then one leg up. Give it a little kick. You might need a little kick to get the legs up. Push into the hands. Really push, push, push. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs, point the toes. You're looking at the space between your thumbs. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold, hold, hold. Slowly coming out when you're ready. One leg at a time. With control. Give your wrist a little roll out if you need. So remembering what we did last time, we did a little crow with our feet on the wheel if you want to practice that. I have to say this is not my favorite kind of crow, but I will do it because we're all going to do it. We'll have a go. Keep your wheel against the wall. This time, we didn't do it this way last time, but we're going to do it this way this time. Hands down, claw the floor with your hands like a crow. Lift the heels, take the backs of the knees into the back. So the arms slightly up towards the armpits to begin with. If they slide down, it doesn't matter, that's normal. You're going to be bending slightly into the elbows, leaning forwards. So you can take your knees onto the outer blades a little bit of the upper arms. Lean forward, look forwards, be confident, check your position. You need to be able to lift your feet onto your wheel. Look forwards, claw the floor, be positive, lifting up. There we go. So lifting, squeezing into the abs, supporting a little bit of the weight onto the wheel. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet down. Take a little break. You can also do shoulder stand on the wheel. It's a little bit unusual feeling, but you can do it. I haven't practiced the transition, so bear with me a moment. I think how do we get into this now? Just got to remember. I think you roll back. So onto the shoulders, arms extend, and then you can reach the legs to the sky. Straighten the legs, point the toes. Squeeze into the belly. I suppose you could have a little play here if you wanted. And 1 tap down. You could tap the foot down to the floor. Exchange legs. Tap 1 leg overhead. And tap the other foot down to the floor. And then tap both legs down. It's a little bit like a supported wheel here. You can take the hands down, keep the crown of the head down. So you have your wheels now in the position of roughly the coccyx. Hold it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll it down a little bit. Take the wheel a little bit higher up the back. Extend the arms overhead. Stretch out the legs. Draping yourself over your wheel. And then slowly bring your feet in, so bend the knees. Big breath in. Then exhale. Start to come forwards, forwards, forwards. Bring your hands forwards, chest forwards. Off we pop from the wheel. That's the wheel for today. Taking a little balasana. Crown of the head. Or forehead. Yeah, forehead to the floor. If you want to take a little rabbit, tuck the toes. So we can round the spine the other way. So pulling onto the feet, holding onto the feet with the hands, tuck chin to chest, take the head to the floor, scoop the belly up. You'll pull across the shoulders, really nice. And then exhale, release down. Take the knees wide, feet together. Walk the hands forwards, drop the head down, forehead down. Reaching the armpits, trying to push the armpits down towards the floor. Three more deep breaths. Inhaling, walking your hands back. Take a little seat. Take a little rock side to side. Maybe a little butterfly of the legs. A little stretch out. Side to side, rock side to side. Little rounded spine, Baddha Konasana, chin to chest. Send the legs a little bit further forwards. Folding down, easy fold forwards. Loosen the shoulders, loosen the face, loosen the neck. No tension, shake the head no, nod the head yes if you need to. Then inhaling to come up. Give yourself a big, big hug. Well done, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed that little challenge again this week. We'll do it again next week one more time so that we can get a little bit more practice with being on the wheel. Whew. Hope you felt that and enjoyed that too. I certainly did. Crazy hair. Have a great, great day. See you soon. Bye.